Hello fellow cabinet makers and welcome back. In today's walkthrough I'll be showing you how we help fellow cabinet makers build custom kitchens faster. So we will be using these architectural plans that can be provided by the architecture or by interior designer. So those are the basic drawings that shows elevations and also the floor plans without much details on the construction of the cabinets or any details that can be useful during the manufacturing process. So without wasting any much of the time, we will jump back to the software that I'll be using, which is SketchUp, and show you the whole process from these basic drawings to details plans. Alright, again guys, if you are new here, welcome. If you are already a subscriber, welcome again. So the first thing that I'm going to do is make the walls, and then from making the walls using the architectural drawings, again I will just start by making the dimensions of those cabinets and then build those cabinets. So what I'm currently doing here is I'm just using those dimensions to make the layout of the kitchens, in this case the base cabinets. So after finishing making those dimensions, now it is time to make the cabinets. Again, if you're wondering, I'm using my go-to software when it comes to custom cabinets, and the software that I usually use, which is Cabrighter. So that's what I'm doing here. So when it comes to the corners, here I've used a blind corner on one side. Again, on this side it was kind of tricky for me because those architectural drawings were very minimal and I could not make the sense of how this door could be open. So I moved the door to be opened in front and then added a filler on the other end, so in that way that corner cabinet can be useful. So after making that cabinet, the next one will be the drawer bank base, which will be facing inward as shown on the drawings. Now after finishing making those two drawers, those two cabinets, what I'm doing here, I'm adding false fronts so that the front of the Peninsula kitchen, which is the kitchen that I'm designing currently, looks uniform. Alright, so on this other end we will be having a dishwasher on the very end, so just making an end panel there so that it hides the face of the dishwasher. So shifting to the other wall, now we are making the tall cabinets and also the upper fridge cabinet. On this cabinet I did not make anything inside, so I just added adjustable pinholes just in case the owner would like to add some adjustable shelf on this tall pantry. On the other side we have open shelves, so that's what I've done there. And then we have the upper cabinet above the fridge. Then on that cabinet we have the end panel to cover the face of the fridge. Remember, again, this is Peninsula kitchen, so the leftmost end of the kitchen will be open and you will be able to see the side of the fridge. That's why I'm dropping the sides to the floor. Alright, jumping back to the upper cabinets, these ones are just basic uppers with adjustable shelves. Behind the cooktop, I made the cabinet to be a little bit shallow, a little bit less tall to accommodate the wood that will be used to extract the fumes. Right now I'm just making the countertops here for the cabinets. So after finishing making those countertops, these cabinets I've decided to drop the sides to the floor. So there will be no Tokic frames on it. So after making those few adjustments on the sides of the cabinet, now the next thing that I'll be doing, I'll be preparing the files for manufacturing. So that's include assigning the appropriate materials to different parts of the kitchen so that it will be automatically easier to make the DXL files for the kitchen. Remember, again, for this, the purpose of all of this process is to ease and also improve the production speed of your custom kitchens. So it is important to make sure the kitchen is assigned to appropriate materials so that the cut list and also the CNC files are accurate. Again, on the filler strips here, I decided to go with same plywood, maple plywood that I'll be using for the rest of the kitchen, and the filler stripes that will be used to hold the side panels will be made from hardwood. So right now I'm just assigning the holes and then creating the seams. Again, here it is important to make sure that the seams are showing all the details for the construction, because if some details are missing, then the shop drawings will not be very useful for the cabinet maker. So keep in mind about that. So usually before I take this process, I usually take some moment to talk with my clients. If they need any adjustment on the current design, I can just walk through them on the design, and if everything is okay, now this is the time that I just jump in and start making the scenes and preparing the files for documentation. So after making those scenes, the next thing that I'm going to do is make the manufacturing files. which are the cut list, the table saw, in case the cabinet maker in this case uses table saw. Also make the table saw cutting diagrams and also cut list. So again, here I'm making sure that the parts are correctly assigned the material and the thickness that I planned for the cabinet maker to use. Alright, these are the files that I now will be using for the manufacturing. So these diagrams will be very useful as they will be showing the cabinet maker which sides needs the edge bandings and also the general layouts of the parts to be used in case they are using the CNC or table saw. So after making those files, the manufacturing files and also the scenes, now I just imported them on the layout and started making the dimensioning and also adding notes that I believe they are necessary for the cabinet maker during the manufacturing process. On this case, this client wanted me to use millimeters, so I went ahead and started using millimeters because some countries like Australia and United Kingdoms, Britain, they do use millimeters. For these cabinets, they are just basic cabinets with frameless cabinets with inserted bags. So you just slide the bags, nothing fancy about them, so they will be just easily to manufacture. So again, this process usually takes some time, so when I'm doing this process, I'm very sure that it is the final process on the design so that we don't go back and forth again, as SketchUp currently does not promote dynamic changes, so that when you make changes on your model, they update directly to your layout designs. So in many cases it crashes, and so in short, I just like to make sure that I have all the details at this point to avoid wasting more time. So I'll just fast forward here on the process of making these dimensions, adding notes that I believe are necessary, and also the scales that I have used. So I just fast forward on this point to avoid you guys getting bored. Just a quick note, guys, if you're a cabinet maker and you do want someone to be your draft person on your shop, feel free to let me know, as I'm currently open for more clients. So you can just let me know via my website, which makes it very convenient. Just one time payment and you will get your I'll be working for you for the rest of the month. So regardless of the number of projects you have, the revisions you might want, it will be just covered by a small fee of paid monthly. So guys, let me just fast forward here and we can move to the final phase of the files. Alright, now as I have finished making the files, I'll just save those files as a DXL files, as a PDF file. I'm sorry about that. I'll save them as a PDF files, including the cut list, the production schedule showing the general dimensions of the boxes at the back, just for fast reference. So after making sure that those drawings include everything, I just like to add as a just for safety measure the cut list on the zip folder that I'll be later on sharing with the cabinet maker, which is my client. So I'll be just zipping those files together. In case they do need to reference something on the cut list, they can do so. So I usually delete any files, any tables that I believe they are necessary, and keep it as simple and as detailed as possible to just ease the process of referencing. And in case they do decide to print them, it is easier to read. So after updating the cut list file, the next thing that I do is just copy the CNC manufacturing files, which for this case I will not be programming the CNC, but I do so you can look at the previous videos that I have done and you will find the steps that I do for programming CNC files. But in this case I will just include the DXL files and also the tables, so cutting diagrams and the cut list on the manufacturing files. So that's what I'm doing now. Also, I do like to include the SketchUp file in case the cabinet maker wants to reference the 3D model in case of anything that I might have missed. So you can just open the SketchUp model and check out any detail there. So to just keep it small size, I delete any materials that I am not using and also the scenes, so it is as light as possible, and also save it as a older version of SketchUp, so that in case they are using any older version than 2018, they can just open the SketchUp model. So after doing that, I'm just going to zip the files and then send them to my clients. Again, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you in another kitchen design and manufacturing video. Bye bye.